who is actually an entire team for an extraordinarily kind gesture during a rivalry game. Oak Creek's Paige Cornell lost her father to brain cancer last month. After their game against Franklin, each player brought Paige a flower and gave her a hug. You just see it right there. It is right there. Franklin's coach says a team mom knew about the situation and they wanted to do something special for Paige and for her family.
The idea of team unity between the two communities. Because even though we're a rivalry team, we feel like they're sort of an extended family.
He'd want us to be happy, he'd want us to remember the good memories with him, and I'm sure he's so thankful for Franklin's gesture as I was.
Such an unbelievable story, too, putting sports aside to really just show that everybody in the Franklin Oak Creek community supports Paige.
And those rivals can be really fierce, so it's good to teach those young women to come together at a time like that. Well, Lindsay is tracking our next round of snow. Weather is just ahead.
Plus, an illegal restaurant order caught on video. What turned up inside a container of cheese sticks that got a restaurant owner in big trouble.
Stay safe from the storm with severe weather alerts. Download the 12 News app.
So Milwaukee got a little more than 4 inches of snow over these past few days. Some areas got more than 8 inches.
And now we're talking about the cold and another snowstorm, Lindsay.
We are, in fact, because of this new system coming in, the Weather Service has actually extended our winter weather advisory to include Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Jefferson counties. Now, previously, that was not the case. So this advisory will be from noon until 9 p.m. And again, this is for Monday. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going to be happening here. I am having some issues with my weather computer, folks, so you're just going to have to listen to me over some of these weather graphics, if you will. So for now, as you can see in Milwaukee, things are chilly. Temperatures right now are near 6 degrees. It feels like -10. The airport also feeling like -10 or 10 below zero. So that is the first thing you need to know about before we get to the snow on Monday. We are looking at wind chill values for the areas that you see here, so we're talking Dodge and Washington, Ozaukee, Sheboygan, and Fond du Lac counties, that is going to feel like 15 to 25 degrees below zero through 9 a.m. on Monday morning. Extremely cold. We haven't had temperatures feeling like this in a while. In the Milwaukee area, it is going to feel like the negative double digits for much of Monday until we get past that noon hour. And right after that noon hour, it's like, cue the snow. Let's talk about this. So here's a look at what's happening on my latest Futurecast. It's bringing the snow in right around 2, 3 o'clock. Coming in from the west and southwest. Noticing the wind direction, it's all coming in here out of the southwest. That's a big deal because that means to me we don't need to worry about lake effect for this system, every other system we have. So there's 3 o'clock. You can see it's kind of picking up a little bit, areas south of 94, and unfortunately it peaks during the evening commute between 4 and 6 p.m. Now, we are talking several inches of accumulation. It will be done by 9, 10 o'clock at night. So it is a quick system, but it's just hitting at the wrong time. So these are the updated snowfall totals. If you're closer to the state line, so I'm talking to Walworth, Racine, Kenosha counties, you can expect 3 to 4 inches of fluffy snow. 2 to 3 areas right along 94, so Jefferson County, also Waukesha and Milwaukee counties. Areas to the north, you can expect 1 to 2. So the evening commute on Monday, I'm talking main roads, side streets, driveways, most likely will be slippery, and it is going to take you longer to get home from work. Your drive to work is going to be fine. It's the drive home that's going to be a problem. So we are talking some of those minor impacts out there, and we're heading into this very active pattern. So there's the system for tomorrow. We get another one coming in on Wednesday. We get another one coming in Thursday and into Friday. And then to icing on the cake, a big whopper I'm watching for the weekend. Now, I say that because this one could be a rain-snow mix turning into snow. So we have about 4 systems to go through before we get to the weekend. But if you're not a big fan of all this snow talk, 43 days until we get towards spring. So that at least makes you feel a little bit better. So your Weather Watch 12-week ahead forecast does feature temperatures are going to be frigid again as we head into overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. So a lot of layers tomorrow. The wind shouldn't be as bad. And then snow, you guys, is going to be starting to pick up after about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And again, we're talking several inches of accumulation. And the worst issue is going to be that evening commute. Steph?
Big 12 Sports, presented by Menards.
One team was going for their first Super Bowl title, the other for their millionth crown, or what it seemed like. It was the underdog Eagles versus the Patriots, and Super Bowl 52 in Minneapolis didn't disappoint. Pewaukee native and Houston Texan J.J. Watt was honored before the game for receiving the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Doug Peterson, the longtime backup to Brett Favre in Green Bay, the head coach of the Eagles. We picked up action in the second quarter, filling on top, but Tom Brady and the Patriots closed the gap. They hand the ball off to James White, the hero from last year's Super Bowl. The former Badger rumbles 26 yards to pay dirt. They missed the extra point, down by 3. And then Nick Foles, who had 373 yards passing, hooks up with former Badger Corey Clement, who takes it all the way inside the 10-yard line. Clement had 100 yards receiving tonight, and that set up this. The Eagles go for it on 4th and goal before the half. A gutsy play called by Peterson as they do a little trickery. Trey Burton, a former high school QB, throws it to Foles for the touchdown. Philly led 22-12 at the half. Third quarter now, another big connection between Foles and Clement. And this time the undrafted rookie hauls in the pass in the end zone for the touchdown. They had to review the play, and it stands. Eagles up by 10, but you're never safe against the Patriots. Fast forward to the fourth quarter. Brady lofts one to guess who? Rob Gronkowski, and Gronk's touchdown catch puts the Pats up by 1. However, fly, Eagles fly. Foles the throw to Zach Ertz, who lunges toward the end zone. They had to review the play, and it stands. Philly misses a 2-point conversion, but is up by 5 then with just over 2 minutes to play. The Eagles defense steps up. The sack on Tom Brady, and then the fumble recovery, and that led to another Philly field goal. And it came down to this final play. Terrific Tom had more than 500 yards passing, but no Hail Mary here. Game over. So the underdog all postseason long, the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl 41-33. Here's Coach Peterson, the former Packer, after the game.
Describe your play calling with Nick Foles. Well, you know, we just wanted to stay aggressive. You know, we mixed in some of the RPOs. The Patriots did a great job of kind of nullifying some of that. But listen, my mentality coming into the game was I'm going to stay aggressive with Nick and let him use his playmakers to make plays.
Congrats to the Eagles. Now, the Bucs beat the Nets earlier today. We'll show you those highlights coming up in our second half hour. Plus, the scary moment for Giannis in the fourth quarter. We will hear from the Greek Freak coming up.
All right, Steph, thank you. Police foil a plot to kidnap a celebrity.
How close a man with a knife got to singer Lana Del Rey. Plus, the deleted tweet that earned House Speaker Paul Ryan a lot of criticism this weekend.
Would you like some Girl Scout cookies?
Who could resist? Hear how a 6-year-old Girl Scout got to some big-name brewers.
After a rough day, immerse yourself in the WISN 12 News app. It's doggone good. Download for free today.
As we come back tonight, another live look at Philadelphia as the Eagles fans flood the streets outside of City Hall to celebrate their first Super Bowl victory. Carson Wentz jerseys everywhere. I bet a lot more Nick Foles jerseys after tonight's game. Remember, police used motor oil to keep the light poles greased up so nobody can climb them.
I think everyone's excited. The camera's even a little tilted here.
Yeah, what are we looking at here? I think we're just looking around.
So much excitement. Can't even handle it.
We're not getting in anybody's way.
We'll have much more reaction to the game later on in sports. In the meantime, though, we have a live look at the freeway system tonight. There have been dozens of accidents after this weekend's snow, and more snow is heading our way. But first, we're in for a cold night.
Meteorologist Lindsay Slater joins us again here from the Weather Center. Lindsay, that wind was just howling today.
it wasn't. It really made that temperature feel so much worse. And honestly, we haven't had temps that cold in a while, but I'm already looking at our next weather system. It's about 700 miles away, but it is making a beeline for us. And as it does so, we will see snow coverage increasing. So as far as a timeline is concerned when it comes to this system, this is not going to arrive until the afternoon. So let's look at temperatures. Maybe you don't want to look at those temperatures, but it'll feel like the negative double digits as you wake up tomorrow morning, which is why there are wind chill advisories in effect. For some of us, the wind chills will feel like 15 to 25 degrees below zero. Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, Dodge, Washington, and Ozaukee counties. And there's the winter weather advisory. This one deals with the snow chances. And if you notice, it looks different than the one I showed you at 5:30. Now, Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Jefferson counties are included in this winter weather advisory. It starts at noon and it goes until 9 p.m. on Monday. As far as accumulation amounts, I am anticipating areas to the south, Racine, Kenosha, and Walworth counties, you will most likely receive about 3 to 4 inches of snow. Areas to the north, about 2 to 3, and if you're near West Bend, Beaver Dam, and Sheboygan, you're going to get 1 to 2 inches. Now, noticing here on our Futurecast, this is happening during the evening commute, so that is really where I'm putting a lot of my focus. You can bet we will have live coverage of all of this, and we will definitely let you know about any updates when it comes to this system, whether or not the track changes, or if we're talking about any additional accumulations. I have posted the latest ones on Facebook and Twitter, guys.
All right, Lindsay, no, you're on top of it. Parts of Ozaukee County picked up the most snow with more than 8 inches in the town of Belgium.
12 News' Eden Checkle was in Mequon today.
I woke up early and took a look out the window, and it was totally different than I was expecting.
A picturesque pain, depending on who you ask.
No one really likes shoveling, but you have to get it done.
But this is the reality of winter in Wisconsin.
It's February in Milwaukee, so what else can you expect?
Which is why you'll find Mike Kirchma out with his snowblower. How long do you plan to be out here for?
Probably about another 30, 45 minutes. This is important for us to keep our driveways and cars clean.
Just a few blocks away in Mequon, Alex Fedd is doing the same, braving the cold and strong winds to clear his driveway.
I really get the fun from this job, but not every day.
Even if it means a change of plans.
I had a plan to go fishing, ice fishing, but not good. Not good weather.
Don't put your snow shovels away just yet. The next round of snow is set to fall on Monday evening. In Mequon, Eden Checkle, WISN 12 News.
12 News will be on half an hour earlier tomorrow morning, tracking your commute to work. You can join Sally, Matt, and the rest of the news team. Again, that starts at 4 a.m.
Turning now to the declassified FBI memo on the Russia investigation. President Trump celebrated on Twitter this weekend, saying that memo, it vindicates him. But as ABC's Chuck Severson shows us, other lawmakers appear to have a different opinion.
President Trump celebrating the Super Bowl today at his Mar-a-Lago retreat, also celebrating the release of the now declassified memo, claiming it vindicates him in the Russia probe. The president claims the 4-page document, written by Republican staff of the House Intelligence Committee, proves the special counsel's investigation led by Robert Mueller is nothing more than partisan politics. Democrats vehemently disagree, saying the document heralded by California Congressman Devin Nunes doesn't explain the big picture.
I think it's very possible his staff worked with the White House and coordinated the whole effort with the White House because it looks so much like this earlier effort, which we know was coordinated with the White House by the same chairman who had said that he would recuse himself, but of course hasn't.
Schiff and his fellow Democrats on the House Intelligence Committee have a rebuttal memo that the GOP-controlled committee has refused to release. Today, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer sent a letter to the president urging him to support the release of Schiff's rebuttal, saying Americans deserve to hear both sides of the story. Democrats fear President Trump will use the memo as an excuse to fire Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who endorsed eavesdropping on a former Trump campaign advisor. But Republican Congressman Trey Gowdy says not so fast.
I've had my differences with Rod Rosenstein, and I still think that he is fully capable of helping run a Justice Department that we can all have confidence in.
Leaders of the president's own party have so far been unwilling to accept the GOP memo as a reason to end the Russia probe. Chuck Severson, ABC News, New York.
It's possible the president uttered the words, "I want Mueller fired. I want Mueller gone."
I never heard that.
But you never took it.
No, I never heard that.
You never heard those specifics.
I never heard that.
Reince Priebus gave his first interview today since leaving the White House And he doesn't believe President Trump wanted to remove Robert Mueller as special counsel in the Russia investigation. The New York Times reported that Trump demanded Mueller be fired last June, but White House counsel refused. Priebus appeared on Meet the Press this morning.
House Speaker Paul Ryan deleted a tweet about the GOP tax reform after Democrats lashed out about it. He mentioned an AP report about a secretary who is getting an extra $1.50 a week because of tax cuts. People, including House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, fired back. Critics said that an extra $1.50 is not much of a pay raise and that Ryan is out of touch. Wisconsin could once again lead the way on welfare reform. Mike Goucher has the story tonight on Upfront.
Wisconsin could be the first in the nation to enact some welfare reforms under a series of bills sponsored by Republicans. Tonight on Upfront, we have two perspectives on the proposed changes from GOP Assembly Majority Leader Jim Steineke and Democratic Representative Lisa Subeck of Madison. Then retiring police chief Ed Flynn joins me to look back at his 10 years in Milwaukee. Plus, questions of water quantity and quality on Foxconn's planned draw from Lake Michigan. It's all coming up tonight at 11 o'clock right here on Upfront.
The opioid epidemic is taking its toll on families as addicts borrow, beg, and steal to feed their habits.
As Colleen Henry reports, one family is fighting with a national pawnbroker to ban a loved one.
This is my drone. $1,200 paid for it. So, a lot of money, and then you take it to the pawn shop and they give you like $150 for it.
And what were you able to do with $150?
To get like 20 pills or so around.
And how long would that last?
I had 2 days maybe.
Nate hawked the stuff at Pawn America in West Dallas. The chain has 26 stores in the Midwest. His wife wrote the company, quote, "I want to know if you can stop servicing him. He is a drug addict and uses the money to purchase drugs." Pawn America replied, "We cannot stop a person from doing loans unless it's court ordered." Nate says he's not the only addict feeding his habit there.
You're going to pawn this for me and get the money for it?
On 2 mornings, 12 News found the same woman outside Pawn America. She asked a 12 News photojournalist to help.
They won't get it from me.
Why?
I don't know. Can you do it for me? And give me the money for it?
Pawn America refused to buy it.
So you won't take this then?
Nope. She has issues. She needs to go to AA.
I can't get. She got in trouble for having stolen here again.
Hi, I'm Colleen Henry from Channel 12.
12 News went to Pawn America.
She asked you to please stop buying things from her husband because he's a drug addict. Okay. And a gentleman named...
I'm going to stop you right here. I'm just going to have to contact my boss before I'm recorded.
Control your husband.
This customer sides with Pawn America.
It is not Pawn America's fault if you got a husband that's a dope fan.
But his wife sees this as a matter of life and death.
I was just trying to help him save his life, and Pawn America wasn't even willing to make any sort of effort to help.
Nate hopes by speaking out, he can help his wife and other addicts' families.
And I really want to try to help other people so they don't have to go through it.
Pawn America turns away customers who are obviously impaired or who have a history of selling stolen property. But it says if it banned others, it could be accused of discrimination. Still, the company says it's willing to accommodate Nate and his wife if they submit a notarized letter asking Pawn America not to do business with them. And it will honor that request from other customers as well.
Colleen Henry reporting. West Dallas tells 12 News Pawn America works closely with police to monitor stolen property. An Indiana restaurant worker was arrested for allegedly dealing drugs by hiding cocaine in an order of cheese sticks. Police say this video appears to show the owner putting cocaine into a takeout container. It was then given to the wrong customer by mistake. That customer then called police. The restaurant remains shut down and its license suspended.
A man is in jail in Orlando tonight after police arrested him for allegedly plotting to kidnap singer Lana Del Rey. Police found Michael Hunt just a block from her concert in Orlando Friday night. He had tickets to the show and a knife. Investigators say someone tipped them off about the plot and they were on the lookout for him. Well, after months of secrecy, Kylie Jenner announced on Instagram today, Ben, I know you're excited, she gave birth to a baby girl.
All right.
The 20-year-old reality star and beauty mogul gave birth on February 1st. Along with the announcement, Jenner shared intimate videos of her pregnancy journey, including clips of boyfriend Travis Scott, mom Kris Jenner, and others in the Kardashian-Jenner family. We still don't know the baby's name yet.
That's the biggest next question,
They're
right?
pretty creative with baby naming, so...
I'm just
Looking
anxiously awaiting.
I know
can't
you.
wait.
I know you are. We'll keep you updated.
The #1 film at the box office just tied a record that has stood for 20 years.
Plus, a local 6-year-old with a talent for business. How she convinced some Brewers players to buy Girl Scout cookies. Seven weeks after it opened, Jumanji is once again #1 at the box office. It took in another $11 million this weekend. That's enough to beat last week's top film, Maze Runner. So this is the first time a film released in December has been #1 in February since Titanic back in 1998.
Titanic was #1 for like, what, a million weeks in a row or
felt
something
like
like that? The film up for 13 Oscars picked up a big award last night. Guillermo del Toro won the Directors Guild Award for the romantic fantasy, The Shape of Water. The 90th Academy Awards is 1 month from tonight. Tune in Sunday, March 4th, only here on WISN 12.
Hello, my name is Claire. I'm a big Brewers fan.
Put me down for 1,000 boxes, literally of anything. It is her first year as a Girl Scout, right? How could you not, though?
She's so cute.
One little girl is hitting it out of the park with her cookie sales.
As Eden Chuckle reports, she recruited some pretty big-name brewers to buy.
Would you like some Girl Scout cookies?
It's a question Brewers players couldn't ignore from 6-year-old Claire Henke.
I'm a big Brewers fan. I've been to over 100 Brewer games.
Forget going door to door. This Girl Scout from Oconomowoc took to Twitter to reach out to her favorite team. And it worked, even catching the attention of outfielder Keon Broxton.
It was just so pure and innocent, and you can tell that she really cares about the team and she just wants to sell her cookies. So I was intrigued by that.
Broxton ordered 15 boxes, but it didn't end there.
I saw Keon and Brett were doing it, and so I was like, yeah, got to.
Pitcher Brent Suter also put his order in.
2 of the coconut creams or whatever, 2 peanut butter, and then 1 some more.
Pretty soon, Claire sold nearly 100 boxes to about 6 players on the team.
I certainly did not expect the reaction that we did. My husband might have been a little more optimistic about it. He might even be more excited about it than Claire.
A young fan scoring a home run in her first year as a Girl Scout.
Go Brewers!
In Oconomowoc, Eden Checkle, WISN 12 News.
Look at that face. Claire's mom says her daughter's goal is to sell 1,500 boxes of cookies in hopes of getting an iPad. They've upped the prices since I was in Girl Scouts, an iPad.
I will pay whatever it was, though, for her especially. Good job to her. Coming up here in sports, more post-game reaction from Super Bowl 52.
What's the scary moment for Giannis during the Bucks' win over the Nets today? Stephanie Sutton is in next in sports. First, here are tonight's winning lottery numbers. Good luck.